welcome back to the channel for another unboxing series episode here in the workshop. And today from Star Wars Attack of the Clones we have Jango Fett, made by Hot Toys, 6 scale figure. Here are the credits on the back. Now this is just one of a few Hot Toys that I've been waiting for, especially from Star Wars. I am a fan of the prequels and I really enjoyed every single one of them. And how could you not have the father of all the clones? This is where the clone DNA came from, and where Boba Fett came from. So, let's get this guy out of the box. Here he is, all plastic removed, and he is really one cool dude. I really like the way they designed this, and the tailoring is really good, the armor is really good, and I feel like Hot Toys has done a very good representation of Jango Fett. But while he looks really good, there are a few things that could have been done a little bit better, in my opinion. Some of the weathering could have been done a little bit more on the armor, but I'm not going to get down to that nitpicky situation there. And then the other thing is where his jetpack clips on. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get it on sometimes. It just hooks in, and then it's a weak magnet on the bottom. That irritated me a little bit, but overall, this guy's really good. And so let's go in for a closer look. You can kind of see what I mean there. There's not a whole lot of weathering. It's just frayed a little bit on the edges, but it looks really good. It adds a little bit more to it. But in my opinion, it would have been a little bit cooler if there was just a little bit more. The tailoring's really good. I like all the leather work, or the pleather work there that is. They did a really pretty good job on the holsters, but one gun did really get stuck in there, so I'm not sure how well or how often I'll have them in the holsters. At least while I'm displaying them. And these are a fine addition to the Star Wars family of Hot Toys that I have here, the 6 scale collection. And again, this is where the jetpack clips on, right there on those hooks there. There's not a whole lot of weathering on the armor, but I still feel like there should have been a little bit more. But he still looks good overall. He's still going to have a pretty good score. So let's check out the accessories. Now, I had to do this a little bit differently because of how many accessories he had. So we are just going to start off with the helmet and the head sculpt. And the helmet. The helmet is actually really cool. You can really see the Mandalorian style armor in this, which is really cool. I really dig in the blue because, I don't know, it looks really good on this style of helmet. I'm impressed with the paintwork. Here is the rangefinder. And this part comes off. Magnetic, of course. And you can replace it with this one, which has a dent on the top. And it's got a little bit more weathering as well. So, overall, really cool. I'm glad it's got more accessories to it. And then moving on to the head sculpt, we have the likeness of Temuera Morrison. The likeness is really good, mostly just from like 1 or 2 angles. It just seems like they did take their newer sculpt, or their Boba Fett sculpt, and just make it look younger. There's a scratch right there. I'm not sure if that's where it's supposed to be. There's one on the other side too, so maybe it's the normal thing. I'm not familiar with those scars or scratches there. But let me know in the comment section if those are normal. But it looks really good. It really looks really close to Temuera Morrison playing that Jango Fett back in 2002. Yeah, I like it. I think they did a good job. It's not perfect, but it works. And here is the earpiece and microphone he had while he was on his ship, the Slave 1 Fire Spray class ship. Him and Boba were there as they were leaving Camino. Now, putting this on, a lot of people are worried that they might scratch or rub off the paint, which it very well might do. It is made out of a rubbery material, so it shouldn't, but it very well could if left on, or continuous on and off motions are applied. So just be careful. Decide now whether or not you want to have this thing on or not. I will probably personally leave it off. So it's a really good sculpt. I like the hair that they did. The sculpt there looks really good, really sharp. Yeah, pretty good job. Now we will move on to the jetpacks. Now, we're going to look at this one first on the right. This one's my personal favorite because it's got colors. These things rotate very well. Lots of posability for this. This rocket comes out. Kind of tough there, but it came out anyways, which is good. It's supposed to come out. And then you can attach the flame effect here, like so. I had to do it a little differently. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. And yeah, this is how it looks. Looks really cool. This effect is awesome. And then, of course, you can put the flame effects coming out of the exhaust ports on the bottom, which can look really cool. I really like this jetpack compared to just the, I can't call it boring, but it's just less enthusiastic other jetpack. Just really good color on it. I think it's unique to Boba Fett. Here's the blue and silver and gray. It's just plain. These things don't move, but you are able to attach the flame effects to these, which is just a cool feature. This one I just feel like it's kind of boring. The other one is a bit more fun and unique. That's why I really like the other one. But really cool nonetheless. I mean, it's always fun to have jetpacks, right? But there's the blue one. And yeah, not much else I can say about the jetpacks. They don't do a whole lot, but they're just good for aesthetics. The missile top does come out of the blue one, of the blue and gray one. Don't get me wrong, this one's good, but I would prefer the multicolored one. Now we're going to move on to the hands, which you only get 6 hands with this figure. I would say Hot Toys, nails hands like I always do, but these are great. There's just not too much to them. It's a padded glove, which Hot Toys does a really good job on hands and gloves, especially gloved hands, because they get that wrinkle detail you see on the edges right there. It just looks like a glove, and you can't go wrong with that at all. I think they did a really good job. So he comes with two trigger hands, of course, and then some open hands, and then fists. And here's the trigger hands. But yeah, again, Hot Toys just does a really good job on the hands. So 2 open hands, 2 fists, and then 2 trigger hands. Now we will move on to the rest of the effects. The flame. Here is the flame piece from the flamethrower that he has. I really like the gradients between the blue and the orange. It looks really cool. But we've seen this before with the likes of the Mandalorian. That's the only one I really have to compare it to. But here is the grapple hook with the small plastic arrowhead and the metal rod. Don't try to bend this because it will break, I'm assuming. I haven't tried. It's like the Pennywise. It almost reminds me of the Pennywise balloon string. But it goes in right there on the gauntlet, which is really cool. I probably won't use this very often except for the review. But here's some other effects. Now, I don't remember the names of these. I was told what these were, but I can't remember at the time of this review, which really sucks. But I think they, if I remember correctly, they were from a book, and that's why they were never really in the movie, except for this. This was the case that held the Kuhans that they used to try to assassinate Padme. And then this is another piece from the books, like almost like a concept piece. I don't think it ever made it into the movie, so it's kind of unique to this figure. I don't think any other figure has something like this, which is really cool. It seems to have some sort of hair on it, or some sort of scratch. Look at that. That's kind of weird. Unless that's meant to be there, or some flashing, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of weird looking. But there it is. These accessories are really cool. And then we have this blade for the gauntlet. Not sure if it's always with the flat side. And then these tubes go up the sleeve. Pretty good detail. But it'll be held magnetically to the gauntlet. This comes out, so you have another one if you ever need another one or lose it. So that's kind of nice. Hopefully you don't ever have to use it. But now we are going to move on to the blasters. This is the Westar 34. He has two of them. Very, very shiny, very very silver. They look metallic in hand. They looks really good. I like the shape of them. They did a really good job making these as accurate as they could. Now he does eventually lose one when he's fighting Obi-Wan on Kamino. So later on in Attack of the Clones, when he goes off against the Jedi, he only has the one. But yeah, really cool that both of them are there. And then you can choose either to pose with both or with just one. So it's up to you guys whether you're not. And now we will move on to the cloak. And this is a really cool cloak. There's buttons right here. You can see that'll attach underneath the arms. This goes overhead. And I will have it on him in the posing section of this review, so you will see it on him. But it's really cool. It's wired, so you can actually have it look like it's flowing in the wind. There's some weathering on top and on the back. It'll make it look dirty. It's really cool. Very nice effect. Pretty happy with this. Not sure how often I'll use it, but it'll look really good like a gunslinger with it on. So it's a pretty nice piece. Now let's move on to the base. Here is the base. It's a darker version of the Imperial flooring, which a little lackluster, but it's there to do a job. Unfortunately, there is no plastic to peel off of this Star Wars silver nameplate. It's one of my favorite parts. Not sure why it's not there, but it's not there. Unfortunately, we will just have to forego that part. Clean it up a little bit. I smudged it. Yeah, there's Jango Fett silver nameplate. It's really cool. I love these things. I try to put them around all my figures if I can, if I remember to. And then we got the dynamic flight post. Again, goes up right here. And yeah, bends pretty good. You get it in all sorts of angles. The only good thing about this rectangle base is that it will and should hold Jango in flight. So, which you should be able to see later on in the review. But yeah, this flight's can't go wrong with these things. These things are nice. But that'll do it for all the accessories. He came with a lot. I was very impressed with how much he came with, including 2 items that we didn't see in the movies. So that's pretty cool. So let's move on and show this guy in some poses, and then we'll give him a score. And here is the first pose, just a quick one. Here he is blasting whoever he is he's trying to blast. I do always try to go and reference the movies if I can, if I need to. But this one's a pretty good pose for Jango Fett. It reminds me when he's on Geonosis fighting the Jedi. Here he is with the blue jetpack on, which is really cool. It's very nice, and it fits the outfit pretty well. So it does have its bonuses. It's just boring compared to the other one that we have. And here's Jango in flight. As you can see, I have the other jetpack on, like he is on Kamino. And like he is when he was fighting Obi-Wan. That's what this reminds me of here. Blasting his way out to freedom, trying to get out of there, because this is the Jedi he doesn't want to mess with. In terms of it's not his boss. Not that Obi-Wan is a huge badass or anything, but I think Obi-Wan would have taken him pretty good. But yeah, using the flight stand, I try not to clamp it on any figures, just because of the fact that it ruins them sometimes, depending on the fabric used. I don't have Jango clamped in or anything. It's just resting inside the leg right there. If you do use the clamp, you can get a little bit more range of motion, but I would prefer not to try that. So he's just resting on that clamp right now. That's the preferred way to do it, at least for me. And here he is in the stoic / museum style pose. I think I got the cloak trying to flow in a wind direction. It's kind of a Western vibe for me. I should have put him up against the Mando. That would have been kind of cool looking. Kind of a gunslinger fight. But yeah, I really like this figure. He fits well in the Star Wars family again. I know I said that earlier in the review, but he just looks really good. But to give him a score, I'd have to say he fits in the 8 category for sure. I'm not sure I want to go quite as high as a 9. But he poses well. There is a padded suit underneath that does restrict some movement. So if you're inclined to do so, you can try to move. You can try and take that suit off. But I personally will probably leave it in. So we got an 8. Let's see here. 8.8. Yeah, I think that's a good score for him. An 8.8. One of these days, I'm going to take all my figures that I've rated and ranked, and I'll put them all in a video, or at least release a list, so you guys have something to compare it to. But I really like this pose. Like, he just drew his gun, and he was firing. But yes, 8.8. Are you going to pick up this figure? What would be your score on this figure? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And that'll do it for this one. Be safe, be healthy, always be kind, and we will catch you on the next one. What the hell? Damn it, stay in there.